All right, today I want to give you two techniques, tips, whatever you want to call it, to boost your social confidence. If you're somebody that wants to speak with more confidence and be seen as more confident in the way that you communicate, these two tips are free. They cost nothing. You can implement them starting today. You don't need to talk to anybody. You don't need a coach. You don't need to buy a book. All you need to do is take a leap of faith, trust what I'm telling you, and he'll be there. All right? So, you're probably going to hear these two tips and think, oh my God, that's it? But I can guarantee you, if you're somebody that's insecure socially, you don't do these two and you don't do them enough. Otherwise, you would have already felt some confident shift in your body, in the way that you communicate with others, okay? So tip 1, hold more eye contact. When somebody can't make eye contact confidently, they either fear the person or they fear the topic, the subject, and they're worried about being seen as incompetent, uneducated, unintelligent when it comes to that topic, right? But if you can hold eye contact, you show the other person that you don't fear them, and this is key, you don't fear the other topic even if you're not familiar with it. So if you're somebody that's struggling, notice, by the way, how tip number 1, I'm not asking you to say anything to sound more confident or be seen as confident. I'm asking you to just make more eye contact. When you can make eye contact, people know. It's very obvious, by the way, who is truly insecure socially when you look them face to face and they break eye contact a lot. They either are afraid of you or they're afraid of the subject, which is exactly what I just said. You either are afraid of somebody or you're afraid of the subject, not knowing about it, being ignorant to it, what have you. So, hold more eye contact. You typically want to go for a 3-to-1 ratio, meaning 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 1 second off, back 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 1 second off, 1 1,000. So that's the ratio I'm looking for. You don't need to go fucking 15 seconds and then you're not a psycho, so don't do that. Hold more eye contact, okay? Feel what that's like, especially if you're dealing with somebody that you see as superior to you. This is where you're going to see the most benefit, because you're going to see that, wait a second, I can actually do this. This isn't as hard as I thought. And you get exposure therapy. And you need exposure therapy. What do I mean by that? Very simple. In order for you to create this new version of yourself, you have to do things you've never done. Yes? Yeah. I think this is a given. Which means you need to expose yourself to these new things you haven't done. Go through it. That is the therapy aspect. And repeat. That's exposure therapy. So I want you to start doing this with guys, with girls, with people you work with your boss, with your family, and just start noticing. Again, you want to go for the 3-to-1 ratio though. You look too long without breaking eye contact, you either come off psycho or very weird. Some weird is good. Very weird's a no-no. Or you don't make enough eye contact and you're constantly looking away like this, which is just a telltale sign of somebody that's insecure in themselves or the subject matter, okay? Again, you may think, oh my God, this was his first tip? Holding eye contact? What kind of bullshit tip is this? Yes, but it's a big one. It's a monumental one. For some of you, this is going to completely change your life because you've always looked down. Either you were taught that way, maybe it was your cultural upbringing, maybe it was something you read. I don't know, okay? Before we go into tip number 2, do me a favor. If you're enjoying this video, you like my candid, raw style of advice, very unedited, very down to earth. Like if we're just meeting up for a cup of coffee and I'm like, hey, homie, friend, whoever you are. I don't know if what I'm saying is correct for everybody, but this is what's worked for me, and this is what's worked for the hundreds of people that have worked with me. Here's what I'm going to suggest. If you appreciate that style of advice, subscribe, give this video a like. Anyways, let's go now to tip number 2, okay? Tip number 2 is to utilize more pausing, okay? Again, another very trite tip. Trite is a short statement that's overly used, by the way. People always say, just pause more. At least all the coaches and gurus and influencers that are in the world of communication, social skills, they always say, just pause more, pause more. But that's difficult to do when you're not used to pausing. So I'm going to recommend you start pausing 1 second to start. All right, so somebody asks you a question. That's a good question. Here's how I'm looking at it. Somebody asks you another question. Okay, that makes sense. But here's my perspective. That's all I'm looking for. 1 second pause. That's it. But what you're going to notice is people are going to start seeing you as somebody that's confident, as someone who is a confident communicator, because there's no rush to answer. Only those that are insecure about their knowledge or statement and they feel this need to prove tend to answer rather quickly, because they're still using the formula of, oh, well, if I answer quickly, I must be smart. But this is incorrect. This is childish mentality. All right? So 1 second pause so you can gain the new perception of you we're building, which is a confident you. All right? So that's tip number 2, part 1. Now, part 2 is when you pause more before you speak, you start to feel confident too. Why? This is where a lot of you just drift off because you don't even know the fucking why. You think you know. You're like, oh yeah, it's going to make me do this or it's going to make me sound this. No. Right now, you are afraid of pausing. Maybe not. Whatever it is for you, here's the goal. Just add 1 second longer. The point of what I'm saying is when you see that you can do it, it creates belief. Because now you're just like, well, wait a second. I'm doing it. I just did it. Therefore, I can do it. And belief creates momentum. You need momentum to change. This isn't something you just do one time. No, this is something you're going to have to do a lot. But eventually becomes a habit, which according to the research, the newest research on habits, you're looking at around an average of 66 days. So assuming you do this consistently, I'm not saying to do it every day, but just do it as much as you can. Whatever that is for you, do it more than your normal amount. I mean, you're talking a couple months to make some significant change. That's not bad, actually. In fact, knowing this means what? You don't need to be as disciplined later. You just need to be disciplined enough to lock in that habit, and then you can reduce the discipline because now it's a habit. A lot of people don't think about that. They just think, I got to be 100% disciplined on time. No, you just got to be disciplined enough till it becomes a habit, and then you're good. Okay? There you go. That is tip 1. That is tip 2. Holding more eye contact, pausing more. It changes your own inner confidence, and it also changes how other people perceive you. Okay? If you're somebody that's struggling with starting conversations comfortably, you want to meet women, you want to meet new people, you want to be able to talk to people that you don't know, I have a free guide for you on how to start conversations comfortably. You can get it. The link is in the description. If you are an executive, a founder, a professional, somebody that runs a business, and you're looking to just speak with more confidence, maybe you feel like you're always wearing the corporate mask, maybe you feel like you can't get your message across, maybe you feel like you ramble and you use a lot of filler words. This completely changes how people look at you, okay? You need to fix your communication. I have another guide for you on how to fix your communication and speak with more confidence. the link is below as well, okay? You'll see some other links in the description just to connect with me on social media and other things that I offer. But if you like this advice or learn anything new, do me a favor, click the thumbs up button, give it a like, and subscribe, which is the same button. Got you. Just want to see if you were paying attention. And yes, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Ta-ta.